2025. Please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's try April 15th, not April 1st. If you didn't pay your taxes, you may want to go, but let's start with blessing everybody.
Will you bow with me for a word of prayer? Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for today. Father, we ask your hand of blessing be upon this council meeting tonight. Father, we want to thank you for our mayor and for the different council members that serve our community. We also want to thank you for the great turnout tonight of our community members. I pray you bless each of them and their families. We want to thank you for the city of Harrison and just the great place it is to raise a family. And I pray that you would continue to show a great blessing on our community. We also ask that you would keep our different law enforcement officers, our paramedics, our firefighters. I would pray that you keep them safe as they serve our citizens. And Father, I pray that you would continue to make Harrison a great place to raise a family. And Lord, once again, we ask that you give great wisdom in the decision-making process that will take place tonight. I pray that it would be done in a respectful and honoring way, and that it would be in the best interest of our community. It's in Jesus' name I ask this. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Here.
Mr. Egner?
Here.
Mr. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Samuels?
Here.
Mr. Agra?
Here.
Mrs. Van Cleve? Here. Mrs. Wilson?
Here.
Approve council meeting minutes for April 1st, 2025. And that's the real April 1st.
Sorry.
So moved. I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Agra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay. Okay, we'll go ahead and move into presentations, and we'll start with Miss Cindy Wustefeld from FCN Bank, please. Good evening, Miss Cindy. How are you?
No, I'm doing great, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm here to present a $5,000 check to Harrison Recreation Commission from FCM Bank. We have a tradition of donating for the summer concerts. We love to be a part of the community and love what the Recreation Commission does in the community. I am also on the Recreation Commission, so if none of you have ever been out to the concerts or into any of the events, please come out and check it out. This Saturday is the Easter egg hunt. Lots of events. Please pray for no rain so we can have the Easter egg hunt outside and all of the other festivities. So thank you very much for having me here tonight.
Fastest 38 seconds of fun you can have.
It is. Yes, Easter egg hunt starts at 11. It is over at 11.
01.
Yeah, it's not even a minute.
There is
so.
a breakfast beforehand though,
Yes.
and it looks like the rain is coming in the afternoon, not in the morning. So I think we will be good.
A lot is going on down there this Saturday. So please come down. It's at the community. It's here. So please check it out. And the summer concerts, please come to see those too.
Can we get a picture?
Yeah, I've got a check.
Miss Patty, you were taking a picture?
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Cindy. And FCN has been a long time sponsor of all our recreational events. Definitely encourage you to support our local businesses that support all the different community events going on. So the next presentation will be by the American Legion.
My wife of 54 and a half years, the health, maybe,
Behave.
here's the checks. Wait a minute. As I call, well, first we're gonna give the scholarships out to the 8 seniors at Harrison High School. We gave 2 out this afternoon at the baseball game. Prior to the game, the 2 boys are playing baseball, so they couldn't be here tonight. So as I call your name, line up over there, coming this way. Patricia Doyle. Riley Fetty. I was told she got her brains from her grandfather, Dan. Emma Helms. John Jacobs. Every time I hear that, I want to say John Jacobs. That's my name too. Taylor Knabb. Kayla Morris. Catherine Nash. Maggie Sider. And that should be the 8 of them. As much as we advertise this during council meetings, it's amazing how many times people, when we give them out, will say, boy, I wish I'd have known about that scholarship. I'd have had my child put in for it. But it is what it is. So I want to congratulate them. And you're not required to take your mom and dad out to dinner. Yeah. All right.
Very good.
You guys have a seat now. Huh?
I was making sure they all got their pictures.
Okay, the next donation we're giving out is to Harrison Girls Softball. Does any of the kids play softball?
They had a game tonight. I don't think they're here yet.
Okay, so we'll have our school representative on council accept that check from Gene.
They must really like you.
We're giving out to the Harrison Girls Softball a check for $1,000. And if we can now have a representative of the Harrison Historical Society. We have a check for them. They're replacing some pavement and stuff, I think, out there, and they got a pretty good sized project. So the American Legion is donating $4,000 to the American Historical Society. If I could have a chief, you can come up, chief of the fire department. I made a mistake at the last council meeting asking the police chief and the fire chief if they needed anything, and they are people who never say no. And they needed some apparatus for the fire department, and so we're donating to them $3,500. And if I could have the Harrison Police Department representative come up forward, please. Unfortunately, the check is not made out to you. But they told me they needed goggles or something for training purposes and virtual training. So we're donating to the Harrison Police Department $2,500. And if the representative of Pathways to Home would come forward. They lost a rather large endowment, and they sent us a letter saying they needed some money, and so we're donating to them tonight $5,000. If you did the math, tonight we donated out, counting the 2 boys at baseball, we donated out a total of $26,000 from the American Legion for this month. And we always asked and remind people, if you've got a 501c3 and you need money, give us a call. If we don't know you need it, we can't help you. But if we do know, sometimes we can help out a little bit, as it's shown tonight. And with tonight's donations, Jaeger Benson Post 199, since January the 1st of this year, we've donated to organizations, scholarships, and fundraisers with a total of $47,950 in those first 3 months. And thanks to everybody for being here. And like I said, if you scholar people and the other people who got money want to avoid all the bullets that are being, now would be a good time to leave.
Tennessee. meant to, it was slipping my mind. I meant to ask her.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thanks,
evening.
Elizabeth.
Take care, Clint.
Bye, bye, girls. See you later. Okay,
give
Chloe,
them a
sounds good.
She'll see you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
she will.
We'll
Bye,
just give them
Jen.
a second to
Good
clear
seeing
out.
you. Congrats. Thanks, Todd. I'll try. Yes, I will.
She'll try, but she will not succeed. She sits next to
You're
me.
gonna stay with your husband? That's so nice. And then
Yeah.
he'll take you to.
Next item in presentations is a proclamation. There. Is there Donovan?
Yes. Hi, I'm Erin. This is Maddie. You can tell her to touch, she'll totally shake your hand. Maddie.
Bite him.
She has a trick you'd like, I'll show you later.
So I do. I have a proclamation to read this evening for National Therapy Animal Day. You know, the importance of animals is long known across not only our country, but around the world. And while I can't claim my dog being a therapy animal dog for the public, he's a great therapy animal dog for me. Actually, it's a lot of the discussion that we've had at the city level, bringing therapy dogs in for mental stress and everything along those lines. And right now, we do have one that has been introduced in our fire department. He's still going through his training, but he's doing excellent. But just to recognize the importance, I thought I'd read a proclamation. So bear with me here. A proclamation establishing April 30th, 2025 as National Therapy Animal Day. Whereas Pet Partners has designated April 30th as National Therapy Animal Day. And whereas scientific research shows that interacting with therapy animals can reduce stress, relieve depression, slow heart rate, lower blood pressure, and strengthen the immune system. And whereas therapy animal teams in the city of Harrison play an essential role improving human health and well-being through human-animal bond. And whereas therapy animal teams interact with a variety of people in our community, including veterans, seniors, patients, students, and those approaching end of life. And whereas these exceptional therapy animals who partner with their human companions bring comfort and healing to those in need. And whereas we encourage more pet owners to consider becoming pet partners, pet partner volunteers to help our community by creating greater access to meaningful therapy animal visits. And now, therefore, I, Ryan Grubbs, Mayor of the City of Harrison, Ohio, do hereby proclaim April 30th, 2025 as National Therapy Animal Day.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to speak a little bit about therapy animals, I don't mean to put you on the spot or anything.
She is, she can tell that you want to pet her, so that's all she's gonna do is try to get to you. Yeah, she is very good about knowing who wants to pet her, and then I don't exist anymore. She goes, and she'll sit right there while you pet her.
So where all do you take her?
So locally, Maddie and I are one of the few teams on this side of the city, really the state. So it was important for us to ask for this proclamation to try to get word out over here that there's a need for therapy dogs. Pet Partners, the organization that we work with, is like an umbrella group that will take requests for visits, and then volunteers just go when they're able to. So I work Monday through Friday, which limits my visits, but I go once a month to Southwest Early Learning Center. And I am on the peer support, first responder peer support team. So she has a special accreditation. I say she does, but I think we have it. It's animal assisted critical response. So we can go to staging areas of natural disasters, and they go to school shootings, earthquakes, all kinds of stuff. And she has certification. So we go all over. We do a lot of workplace visits. We're in schools. We are events. I've talked to the fire chief. I was at an air caravan not too long ago where she was. I volunteered her services to them. So So she does whatever we have time for her. She's got 3 visits this week, so as often as I can, I get her out.
Very good. Well, I do. I appreciate you coming here tonight. And, I was honored to be able to deliver that proclamation.
Yeah,
So,
thank you. And Doug has my information, so if anybody ever needs a therapy dog, I am local. This is what you get.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much. I
Thank
greatly
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And now I'm gonna go home and my dog will be jealous. Okay, we will go ahead and move into invited guests and visitors. And first, I would like to invite up Mr. Steve Hickey. Evening, sir.
Ready, Jared?
I'm ready.
Bullets fly. That ain't that bad. I just got basically 2 things. I'm gonna try to make this extremely quick so you guys can get on to more important business. I assume he's sitting in for Bill tonight?
Ryan? Yes.
Okay. I just need, signatures that you're receiving the public record request. That way they don't go disappearing for a year and a half. Yep. If you don't respond this time,
I was gonna say, normally I think we'll initial off. If you want to, is it the same records request?
yes, they're all the same, basically. I just need signatures.
Yeah,
I mean, you can
I'll
it if
sign
you
it.
want.
I'll sign it.
You wanna sign them both?
Yeah.
Just, I'm gonna give you copies, if you can give them to Bill for me, I appreciate it. So just give me 5 copies.
Yeah. They're the same thing. There you go. Yes, sir.
Quite some time ago, put this away so things don't get jostled up.
Yeah, I think you might have hit.
You're fine.
You're good.
Okay. We'll hand these out so everybody in the council has a copy of them. Quite some time ago, I believe I gave you this. I don't know if the council members were ever given copies of it or not. We had discussed
Thank you.
about some questions that we had regarding this issue.
Thank you.
And yes, this is about Matt Eisenbraun, just so everybody is aware what it is about. I'm going to read this out loud so it can be minutes of the meeting. I'm going to read one piece of paper, and then I'm just going to give a very quick, probably 1 minute long synopsis or whatever you want to call it, so everybody has a good understanding, because it can get a little confusing. This document is with regards to Matt Eisenbraun, who was recently hired as the Director of Economic Development. Matt was previously employed as the Assistant Director of Economic Development for the City of Middletown, Ohio. The following information I'm rendering to the City of Harrison Council was obtained through public forums and under the Public Records Act. On 9/15 of 2020, Matt, along with several other members or employees within the city of Middletown, became targets of a criminal investigation by the city of Middletown Police Department. The outcome of this criminal investigation led to the arrest, prosecution, and conviction of Matt Eisenbraun for him permitting unauthorized persons to utilize city zoning computers to commit criminal acts while he was acting in his official capacity as the Assistant Director of Economic Development for the city of Middletown, Ohio. Matt subsequently was charged with 2921.22 of the Ohio Revised Code, failure to report a crime, and 2917.11 of the Ohio Revised Code of disorderly conduct. Matt pled guilty to said charges. This investigation further led to and other members of the Economic Development Division for the city of Middletown. Matt then made a motion to the courts approximately 1 year later to have his failure to report a crime charge sealed, which would have permitted him to conceal this nefarious conduct against justice and administration. The question that arises from this discovery is, did the city of Harrison Council have knowledge of Matt's criminal background involving his official duties for the city of Middletown? Did the city council even conduct a background check on the new hiree? If a background check was conducted, then who or what committee did it? This information was found through simple Google search. I got on a computer and put a name in. On the internet, it's obvious the City of Harrison Council selected hiring committees have fallen short with their standards of utilizing our tax money for the best interests of citizens. I believe the City of Harrison Council owes an explanation to the taxpayers of this community with regards to their hiring of the Director of Economic Development that also is deeply involved with the future housing developments being constructed. That bears a great weight upon the taxpayers of this city, especially with Harrison Council eliminating our tax credits for the citizens, which now can cause potential harm to our families of our city that already exist on a strained budget and high taxation. This is the first of several officials that will be brought forward in the near future to explain their conduct and character to the residents of the city of Harrison. Thank you. Good luck, Steve Hickey. Now, just real quick, it'll take about a minute. Y'all hired Matt Eisenbraun. I believe it was August of 2023. Does that sound correct? Is that correct, Matt? You can't recall, right? Okay. It was August of 2023. Matt was hired in. Matt this right here, I believe Doug will know what I'm holding up, is a 17-page criminal investigation police offense report, also listing his arrest, of interviews and so forth from the Middletown Police Department. He was arrested doing the same job that he's doing here. He was asked to take a polygraph test and he refused. He knowingly committed a crime against a local business. I believe it was Start Skydiving or something. Does that sound correct? Or you don't recall again? That's what I thought. It was Start Skydiving. It ended up being a huge lawsuit between the Middletown, Ohio, and this company because he was allowing other people to utilize his computer during hours in his official capacity to get involved. And basically, from my understanding from the police chief and some other people, they kind of involved something about the lease or something at the, I think it's called the Middletown Regional Airport. These are copies of different things just that you can just find on the internet yourselves. You know, all you gotta do is punch his name in. I was a cop for 20 years. You were too. We all know it's real easy to do a background check. That's why we have a police department. When we hire people, someone failed. And we're going to find out who failed. We're going to find out who was on the committee, who made the recommendation, who didn't do their job. If you guys keep him, that's your business. Me, I call it negligent retention, but you do what you want. That's up to you guys at this point. The police report, if anybody wants to know, all they got to do is call up to Middletown and ask for report number 20-046263. These are all the court records when he pled guilty, had records sealed, and stuff like that. This is minutes of the meeting from Middletown, which really was interesting because it was even put in their minutes of the meeting that he was arrested with a penalty that could carry up to 6 months in jail. Nobody looked at anything. Mayor Ryan, I'm calling you mayor. Okay. I'm giving you the respect. This is my money, their money, your money. It's all of our money being used. And you guys are hiring criminals. Think about that for a minute. We got multi-million-dollar stuff going on, these subdivisions, which, whatever, I'm not involved in that freight train. You know, I try to stay in my own little hub. Who failed? Why did we fail? And are we going to do this again? This is just one of a dozen people I'm on to right now. Pretty sad. And people need to know this, okay? They really do need to know this. Everybody in this community needs to know what you guys are doing with our tax money and who you're hiring with it. My son's 15 years old, and he could have found this. You guys are all grown adults. I'm sure he can't recall because he never does whenever I talk to him. That's why I gave you personally those records requests, which do entail his background check, who did it, who completed it, and so forth. Because I've been dealing with this man and his subordinate for 1 year and 9 months. I fought for over 5-6 months to get one piece of paper. I have been chastised by one of them, and he stood there and let it happen. Y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to start doing the right thing. I'll be back next meeting. We're going to do this every meeting. We're going to start just getting the truth out for everybody so everybody can just see what's going on and where our money's going. So I just want everybody to know that. Jerry, I'm the most hated man tonight, not you, buddy. So I'll see y'all next time. And I look forward to what we find out together and how we're going to rectify this situation. This is a pension play, folks. He's got a few years left to collect a pension. That's all it is. And if he did it before, he'll do it again. Thank you.
Have a good evening, sir. Next, we have Miss Lynn Crowley, please.
Thank you for letting me come before you. My name is Lynn Crowley. I used to work at the Medi Center. I retired 13 years ago. In that time, in the last 13 years, I've been trying to figure out how I can help people. And I decided that maybe the homeless could use a little help. I started a little pantry in West Harrison for the homeless. I've met a lot of the Harrison or West Harrison homeless people. And I think that we all need to realize that with all the cuts and everything that are going on right now, that we're probably going to see a whole lot more homeless people in the city. And I think it might not be a bad idea if we kind of step back and looked at how we're handling it at this point. One of the things that I think bothered me most about Harrison was last winter when it was so cold out, and I called down here to ask if the community center was going to be open, because I had heard that on occasion it does get to be opened. And they said, well, no one ever comes. And I've been thinking about that. The reason nobody ever comes is because nobody knows about it. Maybe in the future, on cold days that are coming 2-3 days out, we can put something out to the pantries in the city. Hopefully we'll be getting some more pantries, but I doubt it since there's no little funding available for them. But and maybe you can figure out other ways to get that information out. During the flood, a number of our people, our homeless people, lost all of their possessions in the flood. Maybe in the future we can help people out instead of maybe turning our shoulder. I say that empathy is probably a very good thing, and I think we really need to see some of that in our actions toward these people. I would like to see something grandly. I'd like to see a little tiny town for homeless people. I don't see that happening here. If there is a building in the city that's not being used, possibly we could do something about that. In the meantime, and I know you guys are going to all laugh at me, but the old red brick building on North State Street, and I know it's a mess, and I keep hearing about how many rats live there, but maybe that could be cleaned up a little bit so these guys can get out of the weather in the bad weather. I think we're going to see a whole lot more families homeless, a lot more elderly homeless. I just wanted to just kind of bring it to your attention and maybe think about it for the future.
Yeah, this year we actually had the community center open more days than the previous 10 that I can remember. Anytime it dropped below 20 degrees, we made sure that we had it open and available. Not only, obviously, it's always open during normal business hours, but we actually had it open and available. I still have my cots back in the conference room, so I got to break those down still. But obviously, it is a problem that will probably continue to grow as the economy has shifted and has put a pinch on people. I think it's a problem across the entire country, being able to manage that. It's not just here in Harrison. Unfortunately, financial resources at a municipal level just aren't readily available to buy a shelter and then stock it and man it and everything along those lines. But the nice thing about our community is we are filled with hopeful people, loving people, and they continue to come together for those that are in need, whether it's families affected by flooding or the homeless. While the food pantries might be running low right now, in God's timing, it'll be filled back up.
Hopefully.
And I have faith and trust in that. So, obviously nice weather's coming. That doesn't take away from the homelessness part of it, but makes it a little bit easier for them to stomach through those months. How we address it, I can't give you an answer.
No,
I can't, but
I don't want an answer. I want you to think about it.
I think it's important to have the conversations and let people know of the presence, and it may be something that creates more willingness to help. So.
The police department says that they think that there are around 100 homeless people in Harrison. Now, I don't know if that's strictly Harrison. I know of 30 personally in West Harrison.
We just did a census. I think it was Ohio State University reached out to us for a census on homeless people, and I think it was 48 or something, somewhere right around there.
Good.
48 normal not normal, that's a bad word, but regular homeless individuals in our community, because there are a lot of transient people that
Are there really in Harrison?
they'll come walking through and they'll just keep moving along. They're heading one place or another. But
I've heard that there are homeless all down 128.
yeah, yes,
Okay.
it's everywhere.
Yeah, it is, it is. I appreciate you letting me come to the,
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. And if there's anything else ever in the future, please let us know. But I do want to just bring up, I think you had crosswalk written down.
oh, yeah.
Did you want to
I almost
address the
smacked
crosswalk?
somebody on the crosswalk in front of Coffee Peddler for the second time. Two big SUVs parked up close to the crosswalk. All at once, somebody steps out in front of the cars, just so you know.
Okay. We just put those new flashing signs there, but I do think the parking spot closest to the crosswalk on both sides make it a little difficult to see. So,
That just happened last week.
Well,
That's the only thing.
Andy,
And I'm sorry I had to hear the previous speaker. I think you guys do a pretty good job.
thank you, ma'am. We appreciate that. Are there any other speakers? I think there was one more. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just, Jack Phillips,
We know who you are, sir.
Okay.
Good evening.
Probably about 6 weeks ago, I stopped up and wanted to get back to Carolina Trace and West Road.
Yes.
And word's gotten back to me that we had the, I guess you were exploring the ideas and that it is going to have a red light.
Yeah, so we looked at an array of different options. Well, we discussed an array of different options. We think the stoplight is going to be the most feasible option.
Okay.
The timing of that, getting the funding for it, is the next part of the project.
Okay.
So I think the industrial and Campbell Road project was about 400,000, somewhere thereabouts, I believe, for stoplights. So the next part of it will be coming up with funding to try to address the intersection. Once again, that intersection, that whole strip of road, both Carolina Trace and West, is part of our focus infrastructure improvement plan to address it. This obviously just has accelerated the conversations for that specific aspect of it.
So if it takes 2 to 5 years to get the 500,000, whatever it's going to be, can we possibly get the 2 stop signs? It won't cost hardly anything temporarily. I'd love to see that by next school year.
The hope is to address it before the next school year. So with the traffic that really flows through there during school hours, the hope would be is that we try to either have stoplights or something in place to address it before next school year.
Didn't the people that we talked to, didn't they say that stop signs would be bad? It really wouldn't be good, that a stoplight's better, but stop signs would be more of a hindrance?
Yeah, after speaking to the engineer, the hope is that we get stoplights, but we have to find the funding for it. Hopefully, we'll have some sort of safety money, but that intersection is also in conjunction with Hamilton County.
Yep.
So I can't promise anything. It's always just the hope.
Yep.
Um,
Well, if you ask the
Because-
kids that are turning left there, if there was a stop sign, it would make it so much easier for them to get out and get to school as opposed to,
Well, it would allow the natural flow of traffic one at a time through the intersection. So, but it has to be in conjunction with Hamilton County and getting their clearance to move forward with it.
That has 2 governments involved.
Yes.
yeah, you explained that a long time ago. You know, we're supposed to work together, so hopefully.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be patient.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Have a great evening.
I'll keep you posted, Jack.
Anybody else? Very good. We'll go ahead and move into the business session. The first item is to vote on a resolution to authorize the purchase of real estate located at 9381 Dry Fork Road.
So moved.
A second.
Okay, discussion. So at our last council meeting, there was a appropriation of funds, thank you, for this acquisition. In that statement, it was actually stated that it was going to be transferred to the City of Harrison Community Investment Corporation, CIC. We've determined that the route would be a little bit easier if we just make the straight purchase. Because we're going to try to take some of the land in this purchase, take some of the land and create a road, it's going to be easier for us to parcel the part that we need for the road and then donate or give it to the CIC to sell. And then once the transaction goes through, the sale transaction goes through, then the city will be reimbursed for the funds. But this allows it to flow a little bit more smooth. Are there any questions? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Okay, the next item is to set a public hearing to put an overlay on the existing M1 quarry property located between Dry Fork Road, West Road, Corner Brook, and Madden Way. The City of Harrison Planning Commission had a public hearing on the 3rd, I believe. 3rd?
The 8th.
8th, thank you. The 8th, and then the following Tuesday, it was heard at Planning Commission. Planning Commission made it a unanimous vote to have it heard by City Council. So we need to set a public hearing for the first meeting in May.
May 7th.
May 7th. Thank you. And that first meeting in May is on Wednesday that week. That's very important. So that public hearing will fall on a Wednesday rather than a traditional Tuesday meeting because of the primary election. So the public hearing would be on the 7th, and I would recommend at least a half an hour, if not longer.
That's good.
Do you want to do longer than a half an hour? Ray, what would you recommend, a half an hour?
I'd recommend more than that. There's going to be probably some irritated individuals at this one.
Okay, so how about 6:30 on May 7th? We will hold the public hearing for the M1 quarry property located between Dry Fork Road, West Road, Corner Brook, and Madden Way.
You need a motion on that?
No, we're just setting the public.
Okay.
We don't need a motion for that, do we? Correct. Okay. At the next meeting, but we don't need a motion to set the public hearing.
Okay.
I don't think we have a resolution.
It just says,
we do not
moving
have a
to set a
resolution.
public hearing. It doesn't say to,
There is no resolution in here to set the public hearing. Okay.
I would
So-
like to make a motion to set the public hearing
Okay, we
I'll
have a
second
first
for
it.
May 7th at 6:30.
and second, so we'll take a roll call. Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
okay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Very good. We have no other items in the business session, so we'll go ahead and move into reports. I do not have a lot to cover this evening. We continue to, from the city's perspective, work on partnerships, whether it's with surrounding townships or the county or at the state level. But last week, I had the opportunity to sit down with the principal of Harrison High School and Miss Corinne, the assistant superintendent, and some of our local business leaders, as well as Representative Cindy Abrams. She was able to attend a meeting. She was in town on workforce development and job creation, internships, really trying to focus on learning how to be in front of each individual student and where they're at in their learning process, and they're kind of career focused. Not everybody is designed to go to college. If they do want to go to college, we want to help them try to be as efficient as possible. That way they don't end up in a lot of student loan debt, or they don't have to work their tail off through college, or the burden falls on the parents. If we can help them make that process efficient as possible, it's better for everyone. But it's also working with the individuals that don't want to go to college, whether they want to go in the armed forces, whether they want to go to a trade school, or they just want to leave school and start working somewhere. It's helping them find their path. I think that's one of the problems that we have in this community. Not only are our kids leaving, which I've touched on numerous times, not only are our kids leaving, but they don't have a path in front of them. So it's trying to come together as a community to help these kids. I thought it was a great conversation. I'm glad so many people were able to sit down, and I look forward to all our future conversations. That's the last item that I have. Mr. LaFlamme, do you have anything? Very good, thank you. Mr. Wilson.
It's the only thing I have, we discussed in one of the other police meetings about the street Ed Avenue coming through the community center. And with the addition of a water park and a lot of other things that are coming down here, we are looking to close that so it is not a shortcut from Indiana or that subdivision or anywhere else to Broadway. Because there's just too many people that are walking those trails. And when you have a water park in with a lot of younger kids and stuff, I just think it's too hazardous and it shouldn't be there. So that's what we're going to propose from the street committee, which I think I chair. At our next meeting, we're going to propose to close that and put the gate back up. That's all I have, sir.
Yeah, there's just too many kids down here playing, adults playing pickleball, tennis. With the new splash pad coming in, it's just going to increase individuals coming down here to play and have fun and enjoy the community center. And that roadway needs to be closed off. So this is the notice that probably within the next 60 to 90 days, that gate will be back up and shut down. So there will not be a cut through here. So, Mr. Egner.
I'm glad to hear that, Mayor. Thank you. I just have a brief report. We had a fire committee meeting tonight. We went over the monthly report, the Medicare billing, and fire recoveries coming in as expected. Tomorrow there's going to be a structure point meeting at 3 o'clock to discuss the design of the new firehouse. I think Doug's going to touch on these code blue call stations a little bit more, but we're looking at replacing the fire box, the emergency box at the fire department. Recently, we had a pretty significant crossover accident on I-74. We discussed that. We're gonna try to reach out to ODOT to try to get that, the cable barriers erected on the I-74 sooner than what is slated right now. And the mayor and the fire chief plan on discussing staffing at the fire department with the union in the upcoming weeks or months. As far as run volume, we're increasing. Where's that? Here we go. I lost it. The run volumes in continuing to
273.
There we go. Here it is. 272 total runs for the month. 221 being EMS and 51 being fire. Also, I believe we did 34 building inspections last month, and that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Abrams.
That was a good segue, so I'll do my two public service announcements here real quick. The first one is a reminder to please slow down in school zones and during school hours. That came from the chief. And this is the second one. The emergency blue phones at Willow Lane Park and at the fire department took on too much water, and they're so old that we're gonna need to replace them, and they do not work. So if you're going to the park or you need the fire department, use your cell phone. We are looking into new options. And from the police committee meeting, we had 17 public roadway accidents and 5 private property accidents for a total of 22. The current staffing level was 22 sworn officers available for duty. And the last thing is the police department, along with other fire departments and police departments, they're going to get with the FAA and Lexipol, which is a training, inside training, and they want to get a drone for the police department to use. So we are looking into funding and avenues of that. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Samuels.
Mayor, no updates for tonight. Just a reminder that we will have Finance Committee on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m.
Very good, thank you, sir. Mr. Aker.
Yes, Planning Commission met on April the 8th, and visiting was Austin Mathis from Grace Church. They requested conditional use of the property at 9840 West Road, and it was granted. There was a replat approved for Lot 35, Section 1B of Trailhead subdivision. Planning Commission did approve the recommendation to City Council for the M1 overlay zoning amendment. I brought up my concerns. Living next to M1 is not an easy thing to do when you're a resident. I've done it for 38 years. It was last Friday that we bought our house and moved in, and it just can be a headache. It's not that the rules aren't in place, it's getting the rules enforced. The mechanism just doesn't seem to be there. And there's a lot of individuals in this city, quite honestly, that are scared mostly about what's going to happen with the quarry pit once it's filled and once it's developed. And I brought it up just because I think it's time that the city makes some decisions about this, how it's going to be handled. I know we do this with new subdivisions. We view them as a PUD. We require mounding. We require a distance of feet from property lines. And given the fact that it's going to be M1, it's probably something we should consider and iron out before the hole is filled. I know it's a big hole, but eventually that thing's going to be full. It got a little heated. One gentleman had to throw himself out, which was interesting. But there are that's why I think we're going to need more time on May the 7th. There's some people pretty heated up, and it's mostly fear. They don't want to know what's coming, and that's a kind of a tough thing to deal with. So we did approve it. It will be showing up, and we'll have to consider that, but I think we as a council should consider maybe this year addressing some of this. Like I said, it isn't that we don't have the rules, it's implementing the rules once we have them. On another note, I stopped over at Village Park today. The masonry work is just about done. The bricks are up. The edge will probably be finished by Wednesday. It'll all be looking and ready for painting. And I received contact from Ed Brader, and he was the gentleman whose company agreed to paint the bandstand and agreed to paint the building in our park because it was their 20th anniversary when we did it in 2017. And he has once again agreed to paint the rails and paint the edging on the top part of the work it's done once it's all set up and cured. That was Eddie Brader and Brader Brothers Painting. They've been in business in Harrison for over 20 years. Fully licensed, fully insured. They can handle projects as small as our gazebo or as big as the Methodist Church at the corner of Broadway and Vine Street, which they painted too. So if you need help with something, Eddie Brader is a good man. He's a contributor to the community. He actually stumbled on us with our original painting. On his anniversary, he wanted to paint somebody's house who was in need and he had ads in papers, he had ads on Facebook, and he offered this for a year, and nobody asked. And I was
Tell him to
reading.
offer it again.
I was
I'll step
reading it,
up.
and I called him. He said, "That's perfect." And he came up, and it wasn't long after that he had us painted. So if you need work done, call Eddie. He also digs privies and uses metal detectors. He can do all kinds of stuff. So anyway, that's all I have to report tonight.
Very good. Ms. Patty?
The comprehensive plan kickoff starts this week. This will be an 18-month process. American Structure Point will be attending their first community event this Saturday, which is the Easter egg hunt from 8 to 11 here at the community center. You can find detailed information on our website, which they prepared for us. It is harrisoncompplan.com. There is also a survey we would like the community to participate in to allow us to gather data. The survey is also on this website.
HarrisonCompPlan.com.
HarrisonCompPlan.com.
Just keep on saying it.
HarrisonCompPlan.com.
Probably.
This coming Tuesday, April 22nd, is Arbor Day. Our tree board, we are Tree City USA here in Harrison. Our tree board is hosting an event at the Harrison Public Library on New Haven Road. This will be at 7 p.m. Luke Thies from Fernald Preserve will be our guest speaker, and we will be giving away redwood saplings at the same time if you attend. And my third point is please get out and vote on May 6th in the primary. Every vote counts. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I voted today.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to thank Pastor Michael for being here tonight and leading us in prayer. Also, thanks to Franklin County National Bank for once again being the main sponsor of our concerts. They've been doing this for many years. They began sponsoring our concerts when I was actually the recreation coordinator. So we've had a long relationship with them, and they've been very generous to us. So we appreciate them very much. And they're a very nice bank to work with, as is Harrison Building. Right? Also, if you've seen anything on Facebook lately about the Rainbow Bridge, that the Rotary Club has so generously donated their money and their time and their efforts. I think it's getting near completion, so hopefully the people will actually come down and look at it and quit putting negative comments on social media about it. It did not cost the city of Harrison anything. This was donations from the Rotary Club, and if people would just listen, they would have known that. But I thought it was a very nice gesture on the Rotary Club to do this. Anybody that loves pets like we do, when you lose one, it's pretty sad. So I think it was a very nice idea that they came up with. And with all the criticism that they've received, I can see why people don't like to step up and do good things.
Yes.
Don't forget, as was said earlier, that our Easter program is this Saturday. It starts at 8 a.m. to 11. The Boy Scouts have a really nice pancake and sausage breakfast. Activities start from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We have all kinds of vendors that are going to be down here. The Easter Bunny's flying in. We got games that are going to be going on, crafts. Hamilton County 4-H will be here. There'll be face painting. There'll be a magician. The bookmobile will be here. There's plenty of giveaways by a lot of local businesses. So it's a great event. And like we said, the egg hunt, if that's what you want to call it, starts at 11, should be completed by 11:03, if not sooner. Our concert series are set up. We got a great lineup again this year. We start on June the 10th with Strangelove. June the 24th is Austin Tyler Lee. July the 15th is The Remains. And on July the 22nd, this is going to be a huge concert. the Journey tribute will be out here. And it's going to be amazing. They come all the way from Cleveland. We will have concessions from one of the baseball teams, and we'll have cold beverages, a lot of fun. So, stop in and see. We do try to do a lot for our community with the recreation committee.
That's a great lineup.
I'm sorry?
That's a great lineup.
Oh, it's a great lineup. It's going to be a lot of fun. And on July the 4th, of course, we'll have fireworks. We're looking for a grand marshal. So if you have a suggestion for nominations, please post it on Facebook on our page. At 5 p.m., we'll have the P&G Big Band. 7 p.m., we'll have Bad Habit. We'll have games, activities going on most of the day. Our car show will be August the 9th, and we're collaborating on the Harrison's 175th anniversary, and also we're collaborating for the United States of America 250 celebration. So we're very busy in recreation. We thank goodness that we have such a great director in Kim Sovereign. She keeps things moving, and she's got a lot of great ideas. Also, this Friday will be the last of the Lenten fish fries going around Harrison. Don't forget the Kiwanis have one at the Harrison Building and Loan, and the VFW on Lawrenceburg Road has one. The AMVETS on State Street has one, and the American Legion on Campbell Road has one. So please come out and support the local fish fries. I know you all eat, and it would just be really nice to see people give support in our community.
Legions was great this past Friday.
Yes, it was. We appreciated the mayor stopping in.
VFW and
His lovely wife.
Kiwanis have both been excellent also.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Very good, thank you. Are there any other items? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Akrip?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yeah.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
We stand adjourned. Have a great evening.